Hey there, friends. Welcome to Stupid Idiot Thursday. I'm just looking for a name to call this. Having a little bit of fun today. But we're going to tie this also to why it matters. I'm talking about She Jack. You know my girl She Jack from the Houston area, a couple hours from here. We know her very well down here. Most of you guys probably do as well, but you probably know way more about her this week because she graced us with her intelligence and put her full Yale degree on full display for us. Now, before I get into what she said that got her at least revealing how intellectually elite she was, I want to explain a little bit about what her follow-up was after she got blasted for all the stupid things she said. This is important because I want you to keep this in the back of your mind while we look at her video. She came out with this statement saying that she admitted that she was wrong to describe the moon, which has virtually no atmosphere, as being composed mostly of gas to the school kids. Quote, "Obviously I misspoke and meant to say the sun, but as usual, Republicans are focused on stupid things instead of stuff that really matters. What can I say though? Foolish thinkers lust for stupidity." Yeah, people are focusing on stupid things. That's why we're doing a video on She Jack. Nice diversion, but completely incorrect. She's trying to throw off the fact that she really thought not only the moon was a planet, but it was made up of mostly gases, which it's not, and that she meant to be talking about the sun. There's a reason why I'm giving you her rebuttal first, because when you see the video, I want you to just switch around while she says the moon and think if she was really talking about the sun. And a perfect example before we get into it is where she talks about living on the moon. Was she talking about living on the sun? Here's the videos.
In the direction smaller than the sun, and the sun went in a direction, and then the earth. Now those provide unique light and energy so that you have the energy of the moon at night.
Say what? Say what, She Jack? She's talking down to students and faculty at a school and explaining to them how the sun and the moon both have energy. I realize the moon does dictate tides. I bet she doesn't know that. But she's talking about the energy and the light of the moon and how it provides us energy at night. Not sure about you guys, but I do have some solar-powered landscape lighting in my yard. And it's not for security reasons. It's accent lighting and things like that for bushes, shining up the side of the house and things like that. All solar related. Unless I've missed something at Lowe's, Home Depot, or wherever else, I haven't seen the moon panel lights that I can use to extract that energy from the moonlight at night. Because I run out by the time the sun is coming up, my lights get a little bit dim. I wonder if they make one that will harness the sunlight during the day and the energy of the moonlight at night that She Jack is talking about.
And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. And sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that?
So this is where she's talking about the moon, right? And she's talking about the gases. She literally just said, sometimes you need to take a look at a full moon. Full moon, whenever it's full, is like a round circle, right? So she's describing a full moon in detail and that you need to come out and look at it. And in that same exact sentence, she says that the moon is made up mostly of gases.
A full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases.
She was clearly talking about the moon, and she meant the moon, but because she's stupid, she described it as being mostly made up of gases.
The sun is a mighty powerful heat that is almost impossible to go near the sun.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That is by far my favorite one. It's a remarkable heat or whatever she said to describe it. And then she said that it's almost impossible to go near the sun. Really?
That it's almost impossible to go near the sun.
I was always led to believe that it was absolutely impossible to go near the sun. She's saying it's nearly impossible. Like, you can do it, but it's nearly impossible.
What you will see today will be the closest distance that the moon has ever been in the last 20 years. Which means that's why they will shut the light down, because they will be close to the earth.
Who's going to shut the light down? What? Is she talking about God, or is she talking about the galaxy? That there's some kind of chief engineer of the galaxy that's going to, okay, time to shut the light down. Click. I want you to hear that again. They're going to shut the light down.
What you will see today will be the closest distance that the moon has ever been in the last 20 years. Which means that's why they will shut the light down, because they will be close to the earth. You have the legitimate glasses, do you not? All right, we want to make sure that no one tries to be cute and look up without anything on their eyes. Please don't think that's a joke, because we will be walking you out of here, and we'll be holding your arm to get you out of here, because you won't be able to walk yourself out. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is very serious.
You can tell she's a lot of fun at a party, right? You can just tell. I mean, a ball of laughs. There's no doubt. You get a couple of drinks and old She Jack right there, and the fun just oozes out of her.
Still, we're in a solar system, and we depend on the earth, the moon, and the sun. That is our existence. That is what creates our desire for creativity, our music. We have yet to know whether you can live on the moon. But I don't know about you. I want to be first in line to know how to live and to be able to survive on the moon. That's another planet, which you're going to see shortly.
I'm willing to help her get to the front of that line to live on this other planet that we named the moon. It's called the moon because it is a moon.
Get your glasses on, please.
All right, students, I hope you guys are very excited, like we are all excited to be a part of this occasion. Let's make sure we all follow in our direction, safety first.
Oh, she just got through scolding people about, you're going to be real sorry if you look right up at the eclipse. You're going to be sorry. We're going to escort you out of here holding your arm, because this ain't no game. We ain't playing. Don't look up at the sun without your appropriate glasses. And then she looks up at the sun. And then she goes on to fumble trying to get her appropriate glasses on for a good little bit. I think the reason why she had such a hard time putting the glasses on is because she's so used to putting her little slave mask on that they wore during COVID that she's actually, and I'm giving her credit here, I think she thinks she's putting a mask on. Like she's literally trying to put this thing over her nose. These are glasses that go on your eyeballs, not your nostrils of your nose. And I think she was confusing, because she's such an important and smart person, confusing the two and thinking she was putting another one of her little masks on. Now, She Jack is known for a lot of her stupidity and a lot of the stupid things she has said. She has said in the past that the Constitution was 400 years old. If it were 400 years old, the Pilgrims would have been reading the Constitution when they came over on the frickin' Mayflower. She's also known for saying in a 1997 trip to the Mars Pathfinder Operations Center in California, where she asked if the Pathfinder had succeeded in taking pictures of the flag planted on Mars by Neil Armstrong in 1969. She came out probably a week later, at least her staff did, not necessarily her, but her office came out later and said that whenever this Office of Operations Center for the Mars Pathfinder corrected her in the media that we had never been to Mars before as far as a man planting a flag, that she had misspoken or misthought And they said, we don't know why she was saying that because we've been to the moon and we planted a flag there. Maybe that's what she was talking about. And she claimed that that was racist, that she was corrected in the media by the people who knew better. She also came out thinking that Vietnam was Korea. Now, this is a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, I might remind you guys. She compared the war in Afghanistan to the war in Vietnam. She stated, and I quote, "Today we have two Vietnams, side by side, North and South, exchanging and working. We may not agree with all that North Vietnam is doing, but they are living in peace. I would look for a better human rights record for North Vietnam, but they are living side by side. I would like to remind everybody that South Vietnam has not existed for 40 years since the North Vietnamese forces took Saigon in the Vietnam War and reunified the former French colony in 1975. Are you getting the picture that we're dealing with a stupid individual here? Let's talk more about why this matters to me. It matters to me because this is a person making legislation. This is a person making laws. This is a person who is a reflection on stupid voters because these people keep voting her in. This is also a person who is proof that we need term limits. Not that they're going to vote that in for themselves, right? But this person also gets up there and talks about gun legislation. That's why it matters to me, because this person is responsible, sits on committees, and has an equal vote to every other member of Congress on gun legislation. Here's one of our favorites from her regarding guns.
Held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
Most of my AR-15s weigh about 9 pounds-ish. I don't know what size boxes she's talking about, but I don't know if 10 moving boxes would weigh as much as 9 pounds unless they were completely empty or filled with peanuts, which, by the way, looks like what she stacks on top of her head. Here's another doozy where she's talking about a stabilizing brace making a gun fully automatic.
You can buy the brace without a background check. But when it becomes a dangerous weapon, when that brace changes the gun's legal status and makes it, in essence, the same that caused the mass shooting at a Boulder, Colorado supermarket, the stabilizing brace made and a shorter barrel made a pistol under federal gun regulations.
This is troubling to me in so many ways. And this is not necessarily a party issue. This is the fact that when we have people that go to Washington and supposedly represent the people, there are no standards. There's age standards and there's birth standards as far as being voted into office in the Congress or the Senate. There's no test you take. There's no pre-qualification. There's not even like a civics test to see if you know anything about this country. But worst of all, it's probably the only job in America that you can keep and never lose and be absolutely stupid. I know there are less qualified and less intelligent doctors, less qualified and less intelligent engineers, astronauts. But could you imagine having a doctor, engineer, or astronaut this stupid?
That it's almost impossible to go near the sun.
What other occupation in America can you have and be this blooming stupid and never lose your job?
A full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
God save the Queen, man.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. He's over.